my, just another boring gray day. Whatever shall happen. It's not like anything interesting ever occurs, is it? Except, what if I told you today was the most exciting day in the entire planet? What if I told you that despite all of the odds, the office hour train keeps on trucking? What if today was episode 87 of Scampocalypse and day 189 of office hours? Hello, you beautiful people. Today's day 189 of office hours. Office hours, of course, is the check-in across all 5 fandoms. We're talking about x.com/Schwid with 1.3 million followers. We're talking about youtube.com/Scamschool with 2 million subs, 1.7 million subs over at Modern Rogue. We visit the fine folks over at LinkedIn, and, of course, the elites are lurking in the hardest of the hardcores. These are the Diamond Club. They're the ones who get to splash the secret sigil. See a little sign behind me? That's a secret code. It means you're a real one. Not everyone gets to do that. So congrats to those that do. Oh, hello. We got Kean Lafford coming in from Ireland. We got Dylan Theus, the old schooler, the Mike Rula, BioCow, G. James B, Banterat, Magic 51. All right, listen up, folks. Today, we have an FBI report about robot-powered cyber theft of cargo, which made me think of The Wire, which is why I set up that thumbnail for today that says exactly that. But of course, as we always do, we have to begin by paying homage to the classics, the real ones. Scam School was the only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the street. So we are up to episode 87 of Scam School, Dan Martin's Coin Vanish. This one's a treat. We've got Ron Richards from iFanboy on there. We'll watch it in its entirety. I think we have 2 sponsors in there. We'll see whether or not we get a proper C block or not. But post your questions in the chat, and we will answer them forthwith. And then we'll talk about this FBI alert. Here we go. It's the law. Everybody has to learn one good coin trick. Starting now. This episode of Scam School brought to you by Netflix and by TuneUp. Your music collection is a mess. TuneUp fixes it auto-magically. Welcome to the show that's like playing fetch with a buffalo. Scam School, the only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the street. I'm your host, Brian Brushwood, and this week I go on complete mental holiday. From now on, I'm just a member of the drunken mob, and instead we're going to have Dan Martin teach us a coin trick.
New set of rules this time. Brian is going on mental holiday. I'm putting Dan Martin in charge of the episode, and I get to be the drunken jackass along with one of my good buddies, Ron Richards from iFanboy.com.
Yeah, I'm liquored up. I'm ready to go.
Awesome. All right. By the way, now I know we got a character to play. We have a certain standard for Scam School volunteers. So if you don't mind, I'll just not pay attention to you at all.
Look over here.
The entire time.
Would you participate in the episode of Scam School?
Oh, whatever.
Come on!
All right, vaguely interested. What do you got for us, Mr. Magic?
All right, so here's the deal. We're going to teach you a fantastic little quick trick to do with the bar with quarters when you're playing quarters.
Okay.
Or you can do it with beer caps. Take 2 quarters. You turn your hands over. You circle over the coins on the table. You do a little shimmy. You jump from there and look at this. Look at this. To there. That just happened.
Bedevilment!
It just got real.
Shenanigans. My favorite part was the 80s breakdance move.
Yeah, the one was pretty good. That was pretty good.
Now, do we get that now? They're not going to believe this at home, but I actually don't know this one.
All right.
This one's one that has.
You want to learn? Right after our sponsors.
Look at that!
Wow! Look at that!
Guys, seriously, you have to check out TuneUp. If you're anything like me, your music collection is a mess. You got a bunch of half-finished ID3 tags, you're missing a bunch of album art, it's a horrible mishmash. You wish some magical fairy would come in there and fix all of your tagging, get all of your album art correct for you, and that's exactly
ID3
what TuneUp
tags.
does.
Is that a thing you've
Find
thought of
ID3 that
recently?
automatically corrects
You're
all of
with
the
your
unlabeled
Abe
and mislabeled
Vigoda
in your
tracks.
collection.
Well, there's
No
the
more
shins.
ones, a known artist, or Jay-Z spelled 10 different ways. It'll find and replace missing cover art, and let me tell you, this
What
thing
an
gets it right.
artifact.
It uses acoustic fingerprinting, and it has a database of over 70 million tracks. I couldn't stump it, no matter how obscure a track I threw at it. Head on over to tuneupmedia.com and start
Wow.
playing with the free trial.
May
and
I
then
remind you,
get
this
a
is
lifetime
before
This is before
Scam School had a YouTube channel. That's incredible.
Scam School at checkout. You'll save 15%, but more importantly, be keeping Scam School in business.
Now, before we find out how the rest of this one is done, we're going to check in with a short quick take, where Dan and I are going to show you our method to tie a cherry stem with our tongues. Are you ready, sir?
That sounds really, okay.
It really sounds sexy is what you mean to say. I actually don't care for cherries, so I'm just gonna take the stem. You ready, dude?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. There you go. Look at that. Oh, yours is tight. I got the pretzel stash going on there.
I got a tight one.
So how did you do yours?
How did you do yours?
You cheated. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is so great because in urban legend, everyone knows that the sexiest ladies can tie a cherry stem with their tongue.
Right.
And as you know, what's the credo of magicians? Why actually have talent when you can take credit for talent you don't actually have?
Well said.
Yeah, thank you. I wrote that myself.
Yeah.
All right, so talk. What? All right, so what are we doing here?
Wow.
What?
Wow, that was pretty good. You
We're-
cheated a totally different way than I cheated.
Shut up. How did you cheat?
All right, so here's the deal. What we need to do, one thing we both did is you get 2 cherries. You take the stem off one of them, right?
Yep, you tie it up, right?
And you put yours in your mouth.
I put it in my mouth and I put it in my cheek. Right
Now, this is like cherries.
Right.
Me, I held mine in my hand. I plucked this, I ate the cherry off the stem as I was chewing it. I dropped that one on the ground. And plucked this
You
one.
actually did sleight of hand.
Well, not really, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, you did some sleight of hand.
I ate the cherry, dropped this on the ground.
And then put the tied one in your mouth.
No one's looking at it.
Nah, like, that's complicated. That takes like talent, and you are talented, I am not.
All right.
So what I did was I just tucked it in the gum line, right underneath this cheek, right out there, and then just, you can go all night long, and then when the moment comes, you toss it in your mouth, you go, you ditch one over here, you take it on.
What happens if you forget? What happens if you forget the one that's in your mouth?
You're never gonna forget. It's friggin' poking. Well then,
Spit out later in your drink?
yeah, later, yeah, you just get rid of it.
All right, here's what's better.
And that is how to tie a cherry stem with your tongue and have no talent.
All right, let's talk about your Netflix homework. This week, we continue our graduate level course in
Yeah.
Scamology by
Wow,
Dr.
and another
Robert
one.
Bloom
Boy,
from
this whole
2008,
Netflix integration was
starring
way
Adrian
good.
Brody and Rachel Weisz,
I
directed
forgot
by
about the
Ryan Johnson.
Brothers
I love this
Bloom.
movie. It has a very Wes Anderson kind of feel. If you like Rushmore or the Royal Tenenbaums, it's as if those movies met The Sting. In fact, Dan Trachtenberg from the Totally Rad Show told me it's now one of his all-time favorite movies. You'll get to learn a couple of long cons, and you'll get a lot of talk about the philosophy of scamming, but mainly I just want you to enjoy this movie. It's a charming flick. There's
Wow,
some good
how about
twists.
that? I mentioned Dan Trachtenberg. This is before he'd go on to be the dominant director of the Predator franchise. How amazing is that? We did get Brody, for sure.
And don't forget, the
No
wwws
kidding.
at the beginning of the URL are just as important as the scam school at the
That's
end. to make
crazy.
sure you get credit.
And welcome back.
He does all the work, and I still get to be host. No, keep going. No, go ahead.
We're back with 2 fellow bar drunken patrons, and we're going to show you exactly how to do it and you at home. So what we're going to start off with is you want 2 coins. You can use 2 quarters, $2.50, or even 2 beer caps. 2 bottles of beer.
Which one? 2 bottles of beer? You can do it with 2 giant bottles of beer. You just go, boom!
And you can do the top it on with the bottle. All right, so here's
Which one is easier, to do it small with a small coin or a big coin?
Probably for example purposes, we're gonna use $2.50.
All right. Is this like sleight of hand? Like, I'm not fast with my hand.
This is like
I'm rather slow with my hand.
which hand are you fastest with?
I'm not gonna fall for that. I'm smarter than that.
You're gonna put a coin in one hand, all right?
Heads or tails?
What do you prefer?
Yeah, I'm not gonna fall for that either.
Are we both?
Heads or tails?
You don't even use a trick. You just have to teach somebody. Okay, so here's the deal. If you were to take a coin and put it in the palm of your hand or a beer cap or last
beer.
night's, whatever. All right, so you're gonna take it, when you turn your hand over real fast, that's what happens. Now, if you were to take that same coin and put it on your index and your middle finger, right?
Index and middle finger.
Yeah, that would be the other two.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And the left-right thing for me.
Right. You take your hand, and when you turn it over quick, it kind of shoots over to the other hand. If you do it quick. Yeah, you got it. Okay.
Wait, I just did it.
Right, so I'm gonna do it for you slower, and then we'll do it at speed. Watch. Boom, boom.
Boom, boom.
So it's like it's a 1-2 count. So you go, watch. 1, 2. It takes a little practice. Look at that! You just did that.
Yeah,
That was
but my hand
fantastic.
came like I have a tail. Is that a tail? But you know what?
No. But you want to start. Here's how you practice. That's a great point. You actually practice by going closer. Right, and then eventually you start moving your hands until you're like football fields apart.
Yeah.
You do it. It's the Brazilian Masseuse maneuver where you go. Now do the Brazilian
It's called the
Masseuse.
flying monkey. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. You have a quarter in this hand, a quarter in this hand.
All right.
You turn that one over, and in essence, that's what you do. At speed, this is what it looks like. A quarter, you basically say, look, I have a quarter in each hand. You'll watch. I'm gonna turn both hands over.
Did you just do it?
Wow,
Did you just do it?
Watch.
Oh!
Yeah, watch. So boom. That's it at speed.
A no bonanza.
And the more you practice this or practice Brazilian masseuse, either way, you'll get really your hands will
All
get
right, all
really
right.
good.
Hang on, I'm gonna try this.
So do it with one.
Hang
Do it
on.
with
I know what you're doing.
Do it.
Let me fool.
All right.
Look.
I gotta do my Brazilian Masseuse.
You distract me with the masseuse.
All right.
All right, so here's the deal. Watch. Let's put a coin in each
All right.
hand. Come on, both.
All right, go ahead.
Everyone, got it?
Yes.
All right. And then at the same time, we're gonna do. This is like the hands around the world coin trick.
All right. Ready?
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Look, we just did it. Look.
Brazilian Masseuse.
I feel dirty.
Let's have a Brazilian Masseuse.
All right. And remember, when you're learning this Daniel Martin coin trick,
really? Dude, lesson's over. Thank you. Yeah. By the way, we do want to thank Daniel Martin for his expertise in teaching us a coin trick. And if you have any success stories or failure stories, remember to post them at the boards at revision3.com/scamschool. And by all means, make sure to check out Dan Martin's website at martinmagic.com. If you want to contact me directly, you can hit me up at brian@revision3.com. And if you're doing the Twitter thing, you can follow the show at twitter.com/scamschool or my goofy adventures at twitter.com/schwood. Next week, we're going to be training butterflies to mix concrete. But first, I got to go buy some Cheetos. That's the only thing they work for. Goddamn union employees.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I don't have this other music going. All right. Shouts out to the first appearance of, I want you guys to listen to, hold on. Take a listen to this music right here.
all right, so you're gonna take it when you turn your hand.
The left-right thing for me.
Speed. Watch. Boom, boom.
Okay, so that's a hit that gets used a
It's
lot.
a 1-2 count.
But this
So
is
you
the,
go
you're
one.
about to hear the first time that the funky fanfare gets used.
It takes a little practice. But look at that! You by going closer.
Go with.
Hey, this here, put it this way.
Hang on.
Turn that one over.
Just do it. Did you just do it?
Watch.
Oh!
Yeah, watch. So
There it is.
that's at its speed.
So that would later become one of the biggest ones that we used in Scam School remix episodes. It was like every single one. If we did, in fact, I don't know why, but every time we would post a Scam School remix episode, I would get this stuck in my head and I would have to hear it. It's a good jam. I wonder if I'll get content ID'd on this. We'll see. Yeah, BioCount. Is this as strong an anchor as the Scam School theme? And then it gets into some good production work, a little electronic groove in here. I wonder where that hook comes from. Wow. It was released by KPM Music in 1968. Wow. Yep. Oh, that song. Yeah, dude, that for me is kind of peak Scam School era, because both with the new episodes and with the Scam School remix, very good tactical play. Very good tactical play. I'm going to own that one. That's a good one. In fact, now I just want to I want to Suno it up and make other riffs on Funky Fanfare or something like that. Those big brassy sounds, the funk on there. It's good. Who does my... Oh, I see what you did there, Curtis Hoffman. I see what you did there. So this is a really good illusion, man. It definitely fooled me badly. It is interesting because you could tell... Yeah, this is early enough in Scam School that Brian isn't ready to totally just make it not about him or proving himself or whatever, which is probably right for this point in time. We hadn't yet, like, there were shows that were getting canceled and stuff, so there was kind of nervous energy to keep it going. So I was excited to kind of share the spotlight with Dan Martin. Somebody in the chat said that Daniel Martin's handling was an inspiration for tongue-tied. Is that true? That'd be amazing. Yeah, no false modesty, BioCow. I'll agree with you on that one. I'm telling you, and I hope I'm skating to where the puck's going to be, learning how to do all these live streams, because we're still easing our way into what is the must-have reason for the office hour live streams. But regardless, along the way, just by doing the reps, you know, right before we went live, I actually was kind of struck by a deep appreciation for all of you guys that show up live, because any kind of artistic endeavor or any kind of, I don't know, in the marketplace of ideas, something serves multiple purposes. And on the one hand, yeah, we're going back and we're watching the old catalog of Scam School episodes, but of course, you could also feel something else happening as well as we come starts to talk about more present tense stories, like the upcoming story about the FBI and cyber ghost cargo and so on. But at the end of the day, I am deeply thankful that we're coming up on 200 days of essentially Brian Goes to the Gym, and you guys show up to be a part of it. It's great. Oh, Kian says it was a joke. I would love to. Well, because what's funny, Kian, is that got me thinking about how Daniel Martin's version of it, where it's like he was holding it by the end and eating it. That is, well, I don't want to talk out of school about how tongue-tied is done, but okay. All right, guys, look, this is the part of the show where we all place a gamble. We are coming up on, here, let me get the exact number here. I'm going to head on over to DCTVpedia, look at the Scam School show list. We've got a lot of episodes to go through. We've got a lot of episodes to go through. We've got a lot of episodes to go through, and today is episode 87. Okay, so episode 87. Oh, get out of here. All the way down. Look at this, 11/11. So we're in November. We are a scant month and a half away from when Scam School literally goes on the map and gets its own channel. Oh, look at this. Guys, there's my Mac. I have a Mac. Sorry. I don't love it either, guys. Okay, so with that in mind, some of these episodes blow up, some of them do not. Oh no. Oh no, hopefully you all just made your guess and you didn't peek. Hopefully you guys went to guessattack.com and locked in your bets as to how many views this episode has gotten, because it's part of the back catalog, the dark bandwidth. Here we go. Kuro Riku comes in at 56,435. Argyle Gargoyle says 75,072. Magic 51 says 89,000. BioCow says 42,665. Joey 666 says 40,000. Cliff says 48,732. Banterad says 38,000. G. James B says 49,556. Earth 56 says 32,000. Kian Lafford says 37,983. Flying Car 100 comes in at 17,000. Charles Rubach 69,420. Nice. Tholium Official 19,435. Hawk Worley, The Optimist 1.2 million. Let me just preemptively hit that one. I ain't gonna lie. Wait for it. Here it comes. Yeah, sorry about that. Way go! 69,420. Curtis Hoffman, 69,46 with 100,000. Sixer, 41,57. 43,500. James Colbot, 57,675. And the real number is 38,124. with just 28 comments. How about that? 38,124, which means our winner is... Wait for it. Wait for it. Congratulations to Bantarat at 38,000, off by just 124. Look at that. We had what? The winner was just under, and then just under that was Kian Lafford, only off by 141. Joey 666 with the over at 40,000. Congratulations to all three of you guys. Good, good, good. Close, close, close. That's great. So now, here, let me open up the whiteboard for you guys. Ooh. I love it. I love it. It's good. It's very good. There we go. Brazilian Masseuse. Here we go. I'll just put this. We'll put this up here. That'll be our start point. All right. One of the things I love about YouTube is that miraculously it keeps all of the old messages, and it's a two-way form of communication, so I get to write messages all the way back into the past. There we go. Late to this. There we go. I always used to do this trick since I was a kid. I can't believe Brian didn't know this one. This is the first coin trick I learned in like first grade. The French drop and this, the only two I know. Isn't it crazy? Those pockets of what we don't run into. That is an easy one. I could do that in air. Took me a time to learn it. Nice. 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 Still nice. Even after 16 years. I learned this as an ending flourish to a 4-coin trick. Surprised you hadn't seen it before. Me too. Funny thing is, I'm watching this exactly 2 years later. Funny thing is, I'm replying 13 years later. I showed the coins as a head in one hand, tails in the other, flip them over on the table, and then ask what they are now. Then scoop the empty hand on the table, turn it over, and ask what it was now. They reveal it's empty. Show them both under the other hand. Good trick. Ooh, that's a good variation. Just saw him at my college. Have him back on here soon. Dan Martin is the best. Awesome. I used to do coin hand magic, so I already knew how this trick was done. That's very important. One thing I used to do is plant pennies around in unobvious places. Nobody was aware I was doing it. Then later I would tell them I'd throw a penny through the air and make it land. That's brilliant. He steals Brian's beer. Accurate. You're awesome. So I decided to do a show called TAOS. Well, I actually have talent when you could take credit for talent you didn't actually have. The real magician's creed. That's money in the bank. In fact, I meant to check whether or not there's a big spike on... Oh, it doesn't have retention. Oh, we can look at the retention analytics. Let's see whether or not we get a spike when Brian puts his fingers in his mouth. No. Yeah, nope. It looks like it's unrelated. An unrelated event. I thought that we had figured out the key to retention. with fingers in Brian's mouth. Me too, I'm now 34 and I can do it without a table. Nice. I love making coins vanish. Then I play stupid and say I actually made his vanish. It's gone, and they never get it back. Zing. 207, LOL. What happens at 207? Let's see. Oh, holy cow. Everyone did miss that trick. Guys, this is great. Watch Dan Martin. Watch this part right here. He just does this and then no-sells it. How wonderfully understated. That's so good. I cannot believe it's been 17 years and I just now saw this. Thank you for your service. I wonder, mind watching the video again? What? How did he make the coin disappear after he did the trick? Oh, I guess other people did notice. What happened to your show? What? We're on the hunt to find out. Join us every morning for the live streams. Brian. I can if I involve my teeth. Yep, Brazilian masseuse. It's now March 2013, and you posted that comments 2 months ago. Can you please review your math? What? This trick is old. Your comment is old. Your comment is old. Put a little emoji love in there. There you go. Wait, these are dumb emojis. There we go. Scam school. Yep, there we go. We did it. Pew, pew. All right, guys. Let's talk about this FBI alert thing. Hold on. First, I gotta find the article. It's right around here. There we go. All right. There we go. And in fact, let's grab this little whiteboard. We'll scoot you guys over yonder. There we go. Okay. FBI public service announcement. Cyber-enabled strategic cargo theft. First of all, again, if you ain't never seen The Wire, it does a great job of taking you to the docks of Baltimore, where you see to the fine folks working there, the hard working class Americans who are making the lifeblood of America move. Everything is just boxes and numbers that get allocated all over the place, right? And in for a while, there were rigid structures in place that it would have been the only way to scam would require teams of people to inject themselves. But of course, now that the bad guys have language-based robots to pretend to be people, the ability to manufacture entire trappings of legitimacy for systems behind them. Now it's easier than ever to inject yourself as a man-in-the-middle attack and steal cargo. So let's go through this PSA from the FBI. The FBI PSA. The Federal Bureau of Investigation is publishing this PSA to warn the public of a cyber threat increasingly using sophisticated cyber-enabled tactics. That just means robots. Come on, people. Just call a robot. To impersonate legitimate businesses to hijack freight, steal high-value shipments, and reroute deliveries. Now, here's the thing. Remember that robots are going to be pretty good at impersonating systems first, because systems can speak in a strange, odd, stilted way by way of press releases and emails and people who call and don't really know what's going on, because you don't expect a single person to know what's happening in the entire system. And in that information inefficiency is where you're able to jockey for position, and then eventually people will just assume you've always been there. It must be an override or something. So eventually we're going to see this on a personal level, and that, of course, is what I am getting ahead of the puck on, is what happens when this is a person who's very convincing. But for right now, we're seeing increasing amounts of convincing systems. A surge of strategic cargo theft. Cyber threat actors target U.S. transportation and logistics sectors, including companies with interests in shipping, receiving, delivering, and insuring cargo. Since at least 2024, right around the time LLMs will be coming on the scene, cyber threat actors have gained unauthorized access to computer systems of brokers and carriers, typically via spoofed emails, fake URLs, and compromised carrier accounts. So again, when people are like, oh, I have nothing to fear, there's no money in my account. That's not what the bad guys are after. They're not after the money in your accounts. They're not after the money in your business's accounts. They are after your reputation, your positioning, and your data, so that they can inject themselves into essentially just running bills for you. So basically, no, your bank accounts won't get emptied. You'll just suddenly not get paid or not find your merchandise, which is what we're dealing with here. The cyber actors pose as victim companies and post fraudulent listings on load boards to deceive shippers, we'll explain all this, brokers, and carriers into handing over goods, which are then redirected from their intended destination and stolen for resale. In 2025, estimated cargo theft losses in the U.S. and Canada surged to nearly $725 million, 60% increase from 2024. While confirmed cargo theft incidents increased by 18%. The average value per theft rose 36% to $250,000, basically, driven by more selective, high-value targets. That's the other thing. In the old ways, you just had to roll the dice. But now, from context, you can pinpoint exactly what are the highest dollar targets. Here's how the scheme works. Threat actors conducting cyber-enabled strategic cargo thefts. They use a multi-step process. Number one, compromise the initial victim accounts. In other words, you got to impersonate a legitimate company. They do it by email. Sending links for a carrier broker agreement or to review and address poor service ratings. So in other words, a legitimate reason. The links are frequently shortened, spoofed URLs, the tiny URL bit.ly problem. Once clicked, the targeted user is redirected to a phishing website imitating the legitimate one. So a URL that sounds like the real one and looks like the real site. The phishing website hosts a malicious executable file, which downloads other legitimate remote monitoring and management software, giving the cyber threat actors total undetected access to the brokers or carrier systems. Once they are in the system, that's pretty much it. Criminal threat actors, they access trucking load boards where they impersonate brokers using compromised carrier accounts to post additional fake loads, sometimes in the tens of thousands. Legitimate carriers bid on the fake loads, contract the threat actors who provide the malicious carrier broker agreement, and compromise the carrier's computer systems. Let's get to the bids on real loads. Posing as the compromised carrier, criminal threat actors accept shipments and double broker the load to partially unwitting drivers. This is the thing. When you have a system and everybody has a role in the system, they don't worry about the why or the what or the how. They just need to put the thing where the piece of paper says the thing needs to go. Theft theft of cargo, loads are cross-docked or transcoded to complicit drivers, people who are in on the grift, who redirect the cargo from its intended destination and steal it for resale. Criminal threat actors posing as carrier sometimes reconnect with the broker to demand a ransom for the location or additional details of the load. So, what does that look like? The threat actor compromises broker load accounts, right? You get in the system. They post fake loads online. So everyone thinks that there's loads here. Carriers, they bid on these loads which do not exist. The threat actor responds with a malicious link to a remote monitor and managing application. So in other words, they think they're buying something. Link downloads the RMM, allowing the threat actor to control the carrier computer and system accounts. The threat actor uses the now compromised carrier to bid on real loads. And then because of the real loads, partially unwitting drivers pick them up. Then they're cross-docked, and when they're cross-docked, they get transloaded to complicit drivers, stealing those loads for resales. How do you spot them? Well, first of all, contact from brokers, dispatchers, or carriers about shipments made in a company's name that were not authorized by the company. I guess these are things to look out for. Emails spoofing legitimate company domains using free email providers. For example, dispatch.fbitrucking@provider.com instead of dispatch@fbitrucking.com. So in other words, like if a Gmail pops in there. Requests to download documents or forms from shortened or spoofed web links. Yep, that's one to watch for. Emails claiming negative service reviews with links to resolve complaints. This is the key one, because this is the one that relies on an emotional hook to a person, when I find out about who fell for which scheme. There's always a moment that in hindsight, it's very, very obvious. But of course, you're not working with 100% of your brain. You're having 80% of it removed, either by the pressure of a deadline, emotion, in this case, saving face, whatever these psychological levers are, all they have to do is reduce your total cognitive bandwidth, and then you're operating a gut instinct, and you may miss those little be vigilant signs. Again, this is what I teach people to do, is to instinctively spot that in advance. New or unauthorized mailbox rules. For example, forwarding to external addresses, auto-deletion, or hidden folders. Emails from domains or free service providers mimicking legitimate ones through minor changes like extra punctuations. This is pretty classic stuff. Basically, when we get down into the weeds of this stuff, and this will be interesting because the robots, it's as though there's layers, and right now it's just really turbulent. And so as a result, eventually robots will be so good at all this, it'll go back to feeling like a solid layer between the human and the process. But for right now, it's real wobbly, and it's important on the humans to maintain their understanding of each part of the system's thread. Telephone numbers or voice over internet protocol used by applications. Yep. How do you protect yourself? Independently verify shipment requests and pickups using secondary methods before releasing any loads. I don't love this because this, stated another way, is don't fall for it, which I don't know is terribly helpful. Implement multi-channel verification to prevent criminal infiltration of legitimate transactions and freight diversion. I love this one because if you make a habit out of having multiple ways to contact people, then that's going to work great. So, for example, find an excuse to get off a phone call and then just say, yeah, I'll find out where you are. Don't worry about it. As long as you're the initiating force. I can't state this enough. When the FBI reached out to me, we both realized that I had no way to know it was the FBI. And the agent said, just call literally any FBI office and you'll find your way back. And that was astonishingly effective. I think we're going to have more of that, because I knew I was the initiating vector in that, and I knew my path. If he had just given me a phone number, then that would have been a problem. Ultimately, this is why I am convinced we're all going to have to get back to seeing each other in person. Conventions are going to be a security must. Recognize that familiar names or email addresses alone do not confirm authenticity. Yep, that's harder to do when you're only operating with 20% of your brain. Maintain thorough documentation, including photos of driver's licenses, vehicles, etc., etc., etc. This one is going to get easier with robots doing more of it. Essentially, what'll happen is all that information you got to gather, you'll just need photos of bunches of documents. You'll throw it at a robot, and you're like, hey, I was here with this person, and I took this photo. All of this is their real data. And that all, as a collective cloud, will become a very precisely fingerprinted identifier. Report it. This one should be at the top. If you believe you've been the victim of a cyber-enabled strategic cargo theft scheme, similar to that described above, in addition to filing police reports, reach out to us directly. This is the problem. There's no incentive for this. This is part of the reason that I'm trying to change all this with wolf masking. Is I want people to have taken pride in competing as the bad guy and in reporting, and that's where we need the pressure, is on the pro-social behavior. So some terminology: load boards, sometimes called freight boards or freight load boards, are online marketplaces where truck owner, operators, shippers, and freight brokers can post listings and find loads to keep freight moving. Yep. All of that is correct. But this is, guys, I'm going to be pretty insufferable for the next 5 years, as I just keep saying, I told you. But that's okay. Because I think everybody can claim the sky is falling. What we're doing is we're getting ahead of it by, getting ahead of it. What? Congratulations, Sign! Sign got his job back. Did they actually sign? I would love to. In fact, I think you have my phone number. Sign, call me and tell me how you got your job back from a robot. Spending that hard-earned job money to subscribe. Love it. This is why I work in banking. You can't steal money digitally. Ha! I think I might be actively being catfished by AI right at this very moment. Yeah, probably. I don't believe anybody anymore in the digital realm. I'm real glad that I've gotten in the habit of going out and meeting people in person. I have a volunteer later on today at 1 p.m. I should get something to eat. Oh, take care, Magic 51. Hello, Lost 8. Good to see you. Oh, that's great. BioCow says that they've done that. Work in banking. I've done this. Google the bank name and find me. That's the way to go. Hey, Paradise Bob. Wolf masking is my solution to the incoming Scampocalypse. Stated plainly, the problem is robots are very good at talking and behaving very human-like. Humans are not accustomed to being constantly attacked by deceptions at all times. In the world of magic, we are accustomed to that. You go to a magic convention, at all times, magicians are trying to fool each other constantly. And so as a result, you're not threatened by the attempt to deceive. It's not high pressure. You don't freak out. But you notice the rhythms of what feels like a magic trick coming at you. And you're able to deflect these attacks, these pathogens, these deceptive vectors fairly effortlessly. That culture is needed in the rest of the world. So essentially, while if it were up to me, everybody would be as good at magic as I am. This is not a popular opinion. in magician circles. But I think it's important because now robots can at least do the heavy lifting for bad guys who are running deceptions. Pretty soon, the robots are going to be better than humans at running the deceptions. And so in the meantime, it's incumbent on all of us to recognize the rhythms of a deception incoming, which means basically you have to teach the sheep to act like wolves. And the only way to do that is to do the reps. Right now, all of our training is stuff like this. That was a bunch of words saying, don't get fooled. That's a fine, you got it, boss. I'd love that. And so instead, what I want people to do the fooling enough that they can smell that deception coming from a mile away. That's what wolf masking is. That's what I do at my workshops and keynote lectures. They are Decepticons. I've been waiting for that to take too many Autobots, not enough Decepticons. We need more humans to be Decepticons. It's the use of Cyrillic alphabet in the place of English letters that gets you. Yeah. Yep. James Cobalt, he sees it. And again, the important part is when a deception happens, it's not that top 80% of the brain. It's not the sensible, logical box checking part, the part that we normally train for. It's the gut instinct. It's that bottom 20%. Hawk Worley says, I almost fell for a stupid phishing email. Says it was from YouTube and I was eligible for some program. Did a bit of research before it hit me that it was the wrong email for my channel. Yeah, that's a good way to get you, is because if you are somebody in the YouTube space, there are certain emails that you're really scared to miss. For example, if I were a bad guy, here's a grift I would run. Find a channel that is about to or did cross 100,000. They're probably really interested in one thing. They don't know how they get their award. They don't know how the process works. Seems to me like that would be a prime time to send a highly targeted spear phishing thing. I wouldn't even send it as a general YouTube thing. I would send it as a reach out like, hello, I'm Teddy. I'm your assigned onboarder for your Silver Button Award program. As you know, you're about to enter a new tier of YouTube. There's money and power and sponsorship deals on the other side. We just need you to fill out your information to deliver your award. Pretty good. Pretty good. Seems like all that could be highly targeted. Soon as somebody spends the compute on it. Guys, I take no pleasure in how right I'm going to be over the next 5 years. I only humbly step up to the plate. Paradise Bob says, this sounds like what you talked about on Heaton's podcast a few weeks ago. I liked it. I work at a church where old people who can't use their phones give us their money. I want to try to educate them about scams. Any suggestions or resources? Yes. One for one. There's nothing better than creating your own miniature version of a magic convention. And the best part is, they don't have to be practiced magicians. What they need is a shared set of ideas, and so that everybody can cross-check each other. The power of a massively parallel group of humans is computationally the biggest, most powerful weapon there is for sussing out deceptions. What did Abraham Lincoln say? You can't fool everybody all the time? That's right, because that's a big crowd, and they're going to find the cracks in it. So what you could do in your church is you already have everyone aligned with a certain set of values. So now what you need to do is create a place that everybody can cross-reference stuff. So what you could do is you could create, whether it's a group text thread, or I don't know if everybody over a certain age would get on a Discord, but you can come up with some kind of newsletter hub, whatever, wherever the communication modality is that people will be. You can get them in a place where everybody is going to, at church, see each other. So everybody will know they're a real person. And that means if there is a deception vector, it can't last very long, because next Sunday in their "Hey, howdy, how's it going?" if there's a deceptive vector, Judy says to Edgar, I saw your scam email. That was so funny. What are you talking about? Yeah, you posted it in the group and you said it was legit. That won't hold up to scrutiny. So I would say some kind of way for anything questionable to reward people for coming in and showing it to everyone else and saying, hey, is this real? And then to have people cross-check for it. That is a robust system. The way I describe it is there are 5 nodes in my family's human mesh network. If a 6th node tried to show up and pretend like they belonged and were always part of the family, that would be real hard to pull off. And so it won't work because the 5 connections in our family are very, very strong. That's what you need for the members of your church. If there needs to be a structure, so the moment anything questionable comes in, people have an excuse to take it and run it past other eyes, at which point everybody can be on the same page. Hopefully that helped. Kian Lafford points out, look, I'm not going to lie, dude. There was an aha moment because I began to recognize the problem coming. And I said, hey, who's doing this? Who's leading this? And they're like, who's dominating the social engineering space? And then dressed as a hot dog, I was like, we're all looking for the person who's right to take this on. And the robot was like, well, there's a channel called Scam School on YouTube, and it is the internet's longest running program dedicated to social engineering. And I was like, whoops. All right. Take care, Earth56. Good to see you. Oh, Kurumadariku. Hashtag got him. I've softened a lot on church going. I think churches have a really important civic structure, and absent that, I mean, faith notwithstanding, that's a separate discussion. We don't do mutual aid societies like we used to 100, 150 years ago. And I don't know what structure could do what churches do right now. But that's a bigger problem than the purview of what I can do in the next 5 minutes. But I tell you what I can do in the next 5 minutes is show off some of the automations that I've been working on. So y'all know I crossed over to the dark side. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me do this. There we go. That story. Oh, wait. Oh. There we go. That story from the FBI comes courtesy of the overnight robot. There we go. I made a new automation. Office Hours Nightly News Bot. It's got all this stuff. Schedule every day at 9 when I go to bed. You are the nightly story scout. There we go. Oh, I guess I have to do it over here. At any rate, so it found this FBI strategic cargo theft, and I was able to read these before I went to bed last night. And look, it even gives like ranking on crime, visual, whether it's relevant to Modern Rogue, Scampocalypse, talk, freshness ratings. And so I think these stories are about to get even better. So now I got to get this automation talking to other automations that eventually lead into... I didn't have time to update the rundown. Oh, let me... Oh, no. Oh, interesting. Here, I'll change this. There we go. So this is yesterday's rundown. Oh, no, it's not running. The rundown got run down. I did. As a matter of fact, I just canceled my subscription to N8N because I wanted to try to do everything in Codex. Although I guess I could. I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I will get back to N8N. Sine Wave, I would love to hop on a call and get caught up. It's good to see you guys. I crossed over to the dark side on May the 4th be with you. I think you planned that. That is pretty poetic. I love it. Oh, really? Well, now we're talking. All right. Well, I would hear more of this sine wave. All right, guys. Well, I'll tell you what. Oh, Sine. I don't know if you heard a thing that we want to do. By we, I mean Brian. Is make it so that there's a bot that notes everybody in the chat and comes up with credits and awards for everyone, so that as we take us out, I can always just I would love a scrolling thing so that I could just dictate and say, this episode of Office Hours has been brought to you by Sine Wave. Charles Rubach said very cool. James Colbaum 8209 asked this hot dog shaped car question. Argyle Gargoyle had a great idea. Joey H666 says thanks, see you later. Dylan Theus, the old school of the Mike Ruler. Brought to you by gentlemen, warriors, and scoundrels like you. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!